Hi guys, it's Numistacker, and I want to bring you some interesting video today and then a slightly different kind of commentary to go with it. Just before Christmas, I went to see Morton and Eden, one of the longest established auctioneers of coins, and spent a little bit of time looking at these 1937 sovereigns with James Morton. Had an interesting conversation, lovely guy, and hopefully I'll be able to go to their office again to take a look at some of this stuff. But what I wanted to do really was use this backdrop of the most amazing proof 1937 sovereigns to talk about whether you guys should focus on old or new. So let's take a look at this debate about whether it's better to buy old or new. I'm not talking very old because I tend to focus on stuff which is, probably from 1817 or so onwards rather than much older and much more historical stuff. And I know a number of people love that kind of stuff. I probably would do too, but just don't know enough about it. And compared to the brand new stuff, people are saying, should I buy modern sovereigns? Should I buy older sovereigns? What's the real difference? And I think partly it comes down to, stacking weight compared to semi-numismatic or numismatic. But let's take sovereigns, for example. One George VI proof sovereign is going to be something between £2,000 and £3,000. That's compared to a 2018 bullion sovereign, which is £225, £230. So basically 10 to 1 ratio. I could have 10 brand new modern sovereigns for the price of one of these 1937 proof sovereigns. So which is the better buy? The old or the new? I know how I feel about it, and it's interesting because increasingly I've changed my view. When I first started, I think I was very much keener to have numbers of coins as opposed to just a few coins because I didn't have anything very much. I'd got a few bits of silver, and I remember getting my first gold coin. And it was so exciting, and I had sovereigns years and years ago when I was probably 18, 19. I got given maybe the odd half sovereign or one sovereign from my family. And I thought, wouldn't it be great just to have some bullion sovereigns, some new sovereigns, maybe something a little bit older but bought close to spot. Or perhaps it's a better idea to save up all that money or to buy those new sovereigns and exchange them for something a little bit older and something with a little bit more of a history. So what would you guys do? Would you have the 10 brand new sovereigns, or would you have the one George VI sovereign? Let's look back at history, and both have been very good buys, really, because if you go back, say, 10, 12 years, sovereigns were much less money, certainly in pound terms, probably in dollar terms as well. But George VI sovereigns were probably £700, and now they're £2,300, £2,500, heading upwards. And it seems to me that rare, high-quality numismatic coins can often be the more sensible buy. They aren't as liquid in many ways, but then in many ways they are. In other words, you go to your local dealer, maybe that £2,500 sovereign, he'll give you maybe £1,800 or £1,900 for it as an offer. Maybe you'll do better if you go in with the 10 bullion sovereigns. On the other hand, the market in general, all the forums, the Facebook groups, the eBay, other auction houses, it is possible to liquidate these very much more expensive, very much more specialized coins really easily. When I went to Morton and Eden, I saw, and you're seeing them here, I think 4 different proof sets. These sets would have sold at auction for between 8.5 and 9 or 10,000 pounds. James Morton told me that sometimes, if they're very, very good quality, they can actually sell for 16 to 17,000 pounds at auction, plus buyer's premium. But one thing seems to be is that these coins have grown by a small amount of money every single year, pretty much, for the last 10 years. So it probably follows that if you just didn't worry about these things, you put them away, then in 10 years' time, take them out the safe deposit, or do what I do, grade them and play around with them, you'd have something which has maintained its value over inflation, systematically rising no matter what the gold price has done. Would that be the same with bullion sovereigns? Nobody can really give you an answer to that, because you never know what's going to happen to the price of gold. I guess if we see $1,600, $1,700, $2,000 an ounce at some stage in the next 3 to 5 years, then maybe they may be the better bet. But they really are a speculation on the price of spot and also on the exchange rate, in a way that things like this, which have a numismatic value, aren't. So which would I buy going forward? Well, I'm going through a process of exchanging low value items for a smaller amount of higher value items. So the first thing I'm doing is taking silver bullion, silver semi-numismatic, anything which is too low in value to really spend the time on it, watching it, listing it, selling it. I'm getting all of that stuff over, and I'm focusing on stuff which is semi-numismatic modern and slightly more numismatic older. And I've decided to try and find a fewer number of coins in my collection, so I have less boxes, less aggravation dealing with them, less weight to carry around, and those coins will then be the heart of my collection. So and then where I can raise quality, I'll sell lower quality coins, buy slightly higher quality coins. I don't know whether that's the right or the wrong answer, but this is about 2 things. One is, it is about building an element of wealth over time. And 2, it's about having a good time and doing things that I enjoy and owning items that give me pleasure in owning them. And surely having a smaller number of higher quality items must be a greater pleasure than owning a large number of mediocre items. At least that's the way I look at it. So I haven't got very much to be honest, that's mediocre, because I've always tried to buy things that I really, really like. So I guess in pursuing this strategy, I'm actually going to have quite a hard time in finding suitable things in my collection that I would want to dispose of or want to change up. But I guess I might very well take a look first at the things that I have more than one of. So those are the ones that I'll pull out first. Where I've graded coins and maybe I've got a 68, a 69 and a 70, then the first one I'll sell is the 68, or the details graded one, if I had a graded one that was details. Then maybe the 69. Probably I'll try and keep all the 70s. So my strategy is actually pretty much the same as my buddy Regal Stacker, who collects a lot of 70s, and that's what I'll try and do. I'll try and do this kind of stuff so that I gradually, at every level, make sure that the collection gets better and better. And maybe I'm also going to be looking at the volume of space that things take up and trying to make sure that I have exactly the same number of NGC boxes as I do now, but they'll have better coins in them. So maybe that's the way of going. Otherwise, every time I go to the States, I need another 2 NGC boxes to put the growing collection of coins in. So probably I'll continue to sell silver. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about a lot of the Chinese medals that I've got. I really like them. I like a lot of them, even though they may be brass or copper as well. So I'm probably just keep all that kind of stuff and not really sell it as a kind of sideline collection. So that's my view on my strategy of old versus new, high quality versus low quality. Let me know what you guys think, and I hope you enjoyed the wonderful collection of 1937 proofs as well.